And single shines the triple sun. What was sundered and undone shall be whole. The two make one. By Gelfling hand, or else by none. By Gelfling hand? Do you know what that means, Kira?
Wait. This is a piece of the dark crystal.
Then that's what my master meant.
Yes.
Peace. I know what it is. Simple grounding exercise. Sitting down, you know what I'm saying? Sitting down regular. If you can, remember to do your pranayama breathing. So breathing in your nose and out your nose. Breathing, again, inward, the stomach goes out. When you inhale, and then exhale, the stomach goes back in. Do your pranayama breathing. And then also you want to bring your presence into your body. Bring your awareness into your feet, like go through your whole body, feel your feet, feel your legs pressing against the earth. And also like feel the energy of the earth, like engulfing you and transmuting all the negativity, pulling it out of your body, bringing it down into the earth. Again, that's where the spiritual practices, could seem all new agey and woo-woo, but that's real shit, it's like using your imagination, and visualization with your, with your different exercises and meditations. The only reason why it seemed like it wouldn't work is because you don't believe that it would, So you gotta know that your imagination is that powerful. Otherwise, again, like the reason why you don't want to do certain practices with visualization is because you may not feel that works. And usually, doing 5 breaths in each position, that's my thing, So one inhale and exhale, inhale and exhale is 1, inhale, exhale 2, inhale, exhale 3, until 5, and I go to the next position. Also, to make sure you're flexible for the lotus position. Bring your feet in front of you, and then you bring your the back of your feet is close to your your genital area. And hold. Stretching the hips, the lower back. Thigh muscles. Next, it's like the stretch from earlier, but you take one of your feet and you bring it in to the inside of your thigh area, almost close to your genital. Stretch. Breaths on one side, or again with however many breaths works for you. Also remembering as you breathe, to help the microcosmic orbit, you know, microcosmic orbit, the channel of chi that goes from the root to the crown and back to the root. Again, holding your tongue, make sure your tongue touches the roof of your mouth, so that energy, when it comes from the crown back down in front of you and back to the root, it connects in the mouth area through the tongue. And make sure that connection is flowing. That's simply it. Just again, like just those exercises. They have more. Just was on the fly, so again, and making sure put feet on the ground. And remember, with any and all spiritual practices, one thing is not the end all be all. You know, within, more and more what's being exposed is that the reason why stuff is so, out of order and so many words is due to, over time, you know, humans developing an energy of like only wanting to, do things in a black and white manner. And be real with you, it was due to, certain beings not having the capacity to embrace the whole story or the whole picture or see how everything's interconnected, you know what I'm saying? In which, even with, studying the wholeness of things, you do study it in parts in essence, but you still considering the whole at all times, and you still considering everything, is interconnected, instead of like trying to say, oh, let me put science over here and it's not connected to spiritual, you know what I'm saying? Like, things got to a space where it was trying to separate things and put this in a box over here and this, and saying this not connected to this over here in this box, and then this over here in that box. And it's like, no, it's all interconnected, and it got confusing because of trying to separate it instead of seeing how it was interconnected. You know what I'm saying? Science, spirituality, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's all interconnected. Mathematics, math, science, spirituality, all interconnected. You know what I'm saying? Instead of like, three different things that have to be studied by themselves in essence. You know what I'm saying? So again, with that being said, yeah, stretching, yoga, exercise, eating healthy is a part of it, but then there's also, other aspects, sitting and doing your inner child work, doing your shadow work. And I think that's going to be the biggest thing for most people, is doing shadow work, because most religions and most new age spiritual practices promote extreme positivity or toxic positivity, or extreme moralistic systems. You know what I'm saying? When you talk about religions, you got the priests or the women who can't have sex. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got these extreme moralistic systems, and that's unrealistic, you know what I'm saying, to our psyche and our nature of our being. So a lot of people gonna have to deal with, that energy, you know what I'm saying, of like embracing the shadow and acknowledging that everything has, again, a positive and negative. Because the whole reason why, back in the same conversation, it's like, oh, this has to be science and this has to be math, or this has to be, it only could be good and it only could be bad. You know what I'm saying? That's where everything gets confusing, because there's positive and negative in every single thing, in every person, place, thing, everything. Like a little baby, as innocent as a little baby look, it has the ability to be positive and negative energetically. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, everything or everybody, is a battery, unless you know, uh, unless they become, again, like try to be dysfunctional, to the point of like being polarized, where it's just positive or just negative. And if a battery only has one side working and the battery don't work, or it's, it's not going to generate any energy in essence. So, you got to be aware of that balance. And, again, reason why everything is, it's so important to recognize subconscious programming, because even the whole demeanor of, looking at these things and just like trying to find an absolute, like it has to be just absolutely bad or just absolutely good, but it can't be both. You know what I'm saying? Like that comes from the subconscious programming of, again, like also like just the egoic programming of like, oh, something has to be right and something else has to be wrong, when there's wrong and right in this and wrong and right in this, too, instead of just one thing being all right and one thing being all wrong. You know what I'm saying? you know like the concept of being in just any extreme. You know what I'm saying? Like you could find something harmful about it. You know what I'm saying? If you was in a society where it was extremely controlled, there's going to have some positive aspects about it. It's going to have some negative aspects. If you're in a city or a place where it's extremely chaotic, you're going to have some positive aspects. You're going to have some negative aspects, you know. And then you bring the chaos with the control, and then you have more, even a more balanced blend, you know what I'm saying, of the positive and negative. But, you know, understanding that, to embrace the wholeness of our being, uh, simply with the shadow work. The shadow was created by, again, not accepting certain parts of ourselves. So, and that's where it gets deep, because we don't realize how much we got to sit down with ourselves and do these meditations or do this journaling, you know, uh, and go into those depths of like when we was 5 years old, or maybe when we was 1 or 2, or again our past life, you know what I'm saying? But tapping in with these energies, and and telling that part of yourself where that trauma happened, that you love, like you love yourself, you picture yourself hugging, that part of you or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like having a conversation where you letting that part of you know, like, hey, it's okay, we could move forward, like again, like, and just by you doing this with your imagination, you're creating that healing to take place, you know what I'm saying? And just by being able to acknowledge like that, you have some inner work to do, and taking those first steps to do it, that's it's going to open up that energy more and more, because again, a lot of people will always ask me, like what books I'm reading or how I got to know about all this insight. It just first started with just being open to question things, you know like being open to questioning this reality, and embracing the truth no matter how it looks, no matter how different it looks from what I was taught growing up. Show me the truth so I could, fully embrace what's going on. So again, like as you if you put that intention, out there, again, you'll start to attract things that, insight and information, that helps for you to tap into these occult spiritual aspects or esoteric aspects that, you probably once didn't know of, or, quote unquote, seemed like you couldn't find the books or the information at one point. And you start to realize again, like it's all, like, it's like an initiation, or like, again, like different dimensions, is like being in a different, like a different level of the club, you know what I'm saying? When you're in one level of the club, you can only see what's on that level. Although the other levels exist simultaneously, again, like I always make that example, like those bookstores, like say for instance, before some of us awaken to esoteric or occult information spiritually, you know, all the bookstores and our books that was on those subject matters always existed, so literally simultaneously while we was living our little lost life, those old lectures from esoteric master teachers, old books, all that was existing while we was in our so simultaneous. At the same time, you had people again like already aware, while some weren't aware, all in the same world, you know what I'm saying, brushing shoulders with each other, but yet, in totally different dimensions, you know what I'm saying? And that's the appealing aspect to being in this realm too as a being, is like being able to experience, multi dimensions all in one spot. It's like, it's basically like, in so many words, it's like a planet where beings could experience multiple planets in essence, you know what I'm saying? Like all in one experience, you know what I'm saying? But as we tapping in, like just definitely uh keeping it real about the vibration, the shift is, as much as we want to be lighthearted and have fun, like being disciplined and stern on ourselves, because we done seen what happens when we go through certain cycles, you know what I'm saying? Like, and we don't want to be, constantly stuck in, certain little cycles and loops, you know what I'm saying? So doing whatever it is, that the universe has probably shown us 1,000 times we need to do, tapping in with that. But, again, definitely staying grounded, awareness without fear mongering, being aware of what's going on in the world without fear mongering yourself, uh, from the perspective of dealing with the news and stuff like that, you know, and again, just to focus on understanding yourself so you could, align with, you know, what what your purpose is in this now moment. And it's not as a big thing to figure out as much as it's, again, just paying attention to the things that you naturally love to do. You are, no matter how much you do other things, like you always gravitate back towards this, and it brings you inner peace and you love to do it. And also the things that you're great at doing naturally without even having to try. Usually you get compliments about these things from people as if it's like, so amazing, you know what I'm saying? And you sitting there like, oh shit, I just, simply just, wrap the copper around, you know what I'm saying, the crystal. Like, like for those of us who may rap, for example, but, whatever it is, it's going to seem so, easy to you. Again, it's like first nature, without even trying. Like you could tap into this, this skill set, and nobody like had to like sit there and teach you everything about it. You just naturally tap into this skill set. So that'll point to your soul purpose, as well, like whether it be something like you're a great listener without even trying, or you're a great speaker without even trying, and you want something that aligns with being a great listener or a great speaker. If you're a great artist in any way, form, or fashion, you pick the way, your favorite way to express yourself artistically, you know what I'm saying? But, uh, you know, uh, that main work, getting to know ourselves to the fullest, because that's the protection. For me, to each his own with the whole, hey, protect yourself with spell work and all this different stuff. But, I definitely see where your true protection is getting to know yourself so strongly and fully, and being so grounded in your energy, that if something is coming from the external realm, you're very aware of it, and it's not you. So not to follow that urge or voice or whatever, because there's a fact that, yes, people, words or thoughts could, we other people words or thoughts could be felt in our energy field, but whether we give into it or not is due to our own, awareness of ourselves or lack thereof. You know what I'm saying? Like, you only gonna listen to that urge to go get a hamburger out of the blue if you don't know, are you not aware that, hey, truly, I want to be a vegetarian right now. So where the fuck that urge to want to eat a hamburger come from? You know what I'm saying? Like, so with that awareness compared to like, if again, like you strongly aware of yourself, so like, all right, that urge to eat that that can't be, what's best for me, because again, and you done seen your body uh seeing your body just kind of deal with rejecting meat, and you know that you like, oh yeah, I love the intention that I love being a vegan, or I love eating vegetarian food, like you're really into it, and all of a sudden, out of the blue, hamburger pop up. You know what I'm saying? But but yeah, just that awareness of self. Again, that's the true protection, is the knowledge and wisdom and understanding of ourselves. And balancing out that understanding, or should I say, balancing out our inner work with being relatable with our environment. You know, because for the most part, also being relatable and being able to commune right now and connect with like-minded beings, you know, working on some of the same things that we're working on. But just a little message. Stay healthy on all levels. Be aware of what you're consuming on all levels, with your eyes, ears, nose, mouth. Be aware of the balance that has to be maintained. It doesn't mean go do something uh, extremely toxic and egotistic, like, extreme unhealthy ego, or extreme toxic, behavior, just for balance. Like, balance doesn't mean uh, going back to my unhealthy habits in order to balance things. Like, I'm not going go back and drink a 40 ounce and say, oh yeah, balance, baby, balance. Like, nah, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, uh, you may have if it's alignment for you or not, that little drink or celebration every now and then, you know what I'm saying? When it fit, when it's in alignment, you know, or just the fact of being able to simply embrace, alcoholics or people who drink a lot without judgment, you know, it's that form of, again, embracing the wholeness of our being, you know what I'm saying? The positive and the negative. That's very key. And that's also, other than the projection and intuition situation, like knowing the difference between a projection and your intuition, but then also, dang, what I was going to say, being aware of, I was talking about mental health. Dang, it'll come back to me. Probably talking about stability, though, with your mental health. But, stability with mental health, and stability with mental health, and again, the situation with, knowing the difference between projecting and intuition, which again, you got to do your inner work, and tap in with yourself and be aware, and again, you got to be willing to call yourself out. You got to be willing to point out your toxic egoic behaviors, if, some of those behaviors still existing in your experience, again, calling yourself out first and not trying to blame, nobody else for these energies that you're experiencing, you know what I'm saying? But that's basically it. Peace. How's the vibe break? Not too far in the future, not too far in the past right now.